Hey you guys, we are going to start our lesson today. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Here we go. Okay, today is April 8th. It's a short day, Wednesday. We would normally have a short day, so let's have a very short lesson. So we're going to start off with, before I start, I want to remind you, don't forget, Aztec is such a great resource. I highly recommend it. So if you have questions on something we go over, you can find it in Aztec. If you want to go further and faster, you can use Aztec. Great way to keep doing your math and advancing. All right, today our lesson is on congruent and similar figures. So let's find out what those two words mean. Congruent means same shape, same size. So here we have a right triangle and here we have a right triangle. They are the same size. Look, I found my daughter's chocolate bar stash. It's from Christmas. So look, it's the same size here. It's the same size here. This is the same. Over here, this is like a X shape or a cross shape. It's the same shape and it's the same size. So this is congruent. By the way, you should be taking notes. You should be using your math notebook like you did in class. Just turn to the new page, write the definition of congruent. You can pause this video anytime you want. Next, similar. Similar is the same shape, like congruent, but it's not the same size. This one's bigger, this one's smaller, but it's the same shape. They're both a right triangle. This one has an acute angle here, an acute angle here, an acute angle here, an acute angle here. So same shape, same kind of angle, congruent angle, meaning the same, and proportional side. So this looks like it's twice the size of this. And then over here, this looks like it's, my hand's in the wrong place, twice the size of this side. So the difference between similar and congruent. Similar and congruent both are the same shape, but congruent is the same size. Similar is not the same size, but it is in proportion. All right, so let's practice. I have a right triangle here, and I have a right triangle here. I'm told that from here to here is 2.8. I'm told from here to here is 1.4. But I get the information here that this is 0.6 and I don't have information over here. The question, you see, is what is the length of line segment AC? When you see this over the top, that means line segment. So they want to know how long is this. So what we're going to do is we're going to figure out how are these two numbers related so we can figure out this number. So I have 1/4 and I go over here and I go to 2.8. So I'm going from 1.4, I said 1/4, I meant 1.4. You go from 1.4 to 2.8. So I'm getting bigger. When I get bigger, I multiply. And hopefully you see you're multiplying by 2. So if you multiply by 2 here, in order to keep it in proportion, I have to multiply this by 2. So I need to say 0.6 times 2. Well, 6 times 2 is 12. And remember my rule for decimals, I count over. So that means that this is 1.2. And that keeps it in proportion. Look at this one. Are these congruent or are they similar? Hopefully you said similar because they're not the same size. Now this is the way the GED would probably ask this question. Probably not like this one up here. They would say, what is the area of the smaller rectangle? Well, we know for area of a rectangle, we need to know length times width. Well, I only have one number here, and they're only interested in the smaller rectangle. I think I keep saying the wrong shape, sorry. So what I have here is I have a 4 and a 2. I have a 10, and I don't know that number, but I can figure it out. So how did I get from 4 to 2? Well, I got smaller. When I get smaller, I divide. What did I divide by? 2. 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. So I need to do the same thing here. I need to take this 10 and divide it by 2. Well, 10 divided by 2 is 5. So I now know this is 2 and that this is 5. So what I know is my length and my width. So I can say 2 times 5 is 10. And since it's an area question, I'm going to say centimeters squared. Or I can write it this way, 10 square centimeters. Make sure you understood that, because this is the way the GED will probably ask you a question. If you didn't, pause it, rewind, and look at that again. Because now it's going to be your turn. You need to practice this one. So I'm giving you this one to practice, so if you'll press pause and then come back and see me in just a minute. Okay, so hopefully you press pause. Hopefully you work this problem out, and now let's see if you and I agree on the answer. So I have my smaller triangle over here, my larger triangle over here. The only number I'm giving is this leg of the triangle here. So I have to say, how do I get from 3 to 9? Well, I got bigger, so I know I multiply. 3 times what gives me 9? 3. That means this side and the hypotenuse both need to be times by 3 to keep it in proportion. So 7 times 3 is 21. That means we have a 21 here. And now I need to take the 8.2 and times it by 3. Remembering my rules for multiplying decimals, remember I don't line my decimals up, I line my numbers up. So 3 times 2 is 6. 8 times 3 is 24. Move my decimal once. Nothing to count here, so don't move there. So I get a 24.6 for the hypotenuse. All right, if you didn't understand that, pause it and try it again, or rewind it and try it again. Here's another one for you. So this one is for you to try. Pause, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so this one I would say is more like a GED style question than the last question. It gives me two shapes. I can tell that they're similar, not congruent, they're similar. And look at the question, what is the perimeter? It doesn't want to just know what's the side, it wants to know perimeter. So first I've got to figure out my missing measurement. So from here to here, I went to a smaller number, so I divided, and I divided by 2. So now I have to come over here and divide 5 by 2. Well, I didn't give you a nice even number, and I doubt the GED will either. So just think about this. If you have $5 and you split it with you and your friend, each of you will get $2.50, or we'll call it 2.5. Now I know my missing measurement, but that doesn't answer the question. And more than likely, the GED will say choice A or B or C or D is 2.5. And a lot of people will go, yes, that's it. No, I'm not done. I need to find the perimeter. Perimeter is all the way around the outside. Remember, we add. So now I know if this is 2.5, this side would be 2.5. If this is 7, this would be 7. So now I take these measurements and I add them up. So 7 plus 7, I have to remember my rule of adding decimals. I line my decimals up. And this is what I have. 5 plus 5 is 10. So I should carry my 1. I get 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. That would be my answer. The perimeter is 19 centimeters. Now remember, we don't square when it's perimeter, that's only area. And just for the record, a little quicker way, I could have said 7 and 7 is 14 in my head. I could have said $2.50 and $2.50 is $5. So 14 plus 5 is 19. Okay, here is your last question. Make sure you press pause. This has 3 parts. Sorry, the little doggy is helping. Press pause, and I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, so first question, are these shapes congruent or similar? What happens is when people turn shapes, they get all confused. It's like they don't even recognize they are the same shape. This is the same shape, it's also the same size, so the answer would be congruent. Which line segment is congruent to segment CD? So here's segment CD. It's the one at an angle. I need to find segment CD's partner, which would be line segment GH. What if you put HG? It would still be right. Would the GED give you both of them? No, they'll only give you one of those two. Number 3, which line segment is congruent to EF? So they're wanting us to find this right here. Its partner would be AB. Or once again, yes, you could have written BA. Okay, so that is it for today. I hope you go out and relax and have some time outside. Remember, your job is to go into Teams now and take the quiz. And if anybody has any questions on getting onto Teams, please call me. I really want to help you do that. Have a great day. Bye.